Okay, so VidCon's in a week, and everyone is up in arms about the Adpocalypse. It's like the major YouTube issue in 2017, Adpocalypse. A whole bunch of big-time advertisers pulled out of YouTube, and ad rates are down, ad volume is down, and a lot of creators are worried that YouTube might not be a reliable source of income for them in the future. And everyone's pissed off. Like, everyone is really, really upset. And I actually think that it's an underreaction. I think that we need to be much more concerned than we currently are. But I don't think that we need to be upset with YouTube. I think that there are much larger, scarier forces at play that we need to take into account. And until we really get to the root of this problem, we are putting ourselves in danger. So I want to explain what I mean by that in this video. It's probably going to be a big one, so I hope you'll bear with me, and I appreciate your time and your attention. It means a lot. So let's start here. Say that we're both aspiring child tycoons and we're setting up lemonade stands on our block. We're competing for the same market of neighbors. We hope that they'll give us some spare change and we'll give them some lemonade, but we're competing, and the way capitalism is supposed to work, the better lemonade is supposed to win. Whoever has the cheapest, most refreshing, most delicious lemonade wins. And say you have the great lemonade and mine's just a bit too sour. So I'm losing. The money I should be earning is going to you. And because I am a petty and vengeful child tycoon in the making, this invokes my ire. And I seek to destroy you by putting up signs all over the neighborhood saying that your lemonade is really bad, that it presents health risks, that you can get diabetes because you put way too much sugar in that stuff. And that my lemonade is really great and delicious and healthy, and you should buy it. That means that if I'm losing and I have the better product, I don't really need to innovate, right? Like, I remove the selective pressure that forces me to make something better for the consumer, and I generate demand for my lesser product. Because, I mean, innovation is such a pesky pressure to have to bend to, after all. So I think this is basically the nature of the adpocalypse. YouTube has the delicious lemonade, and the telecom industry has the second-rate lemonade, but also the media power to make YouTube's lemonade look not so good. One of the first companies to pull out of the Google ad market was Havas. So Havas is a French telecom, or a French PR company, advertising company, and it's owned by a guy named Vincent Bolloré. And Vincent Bolloré also owns Vivendi, which is one of these major global multinational conglomerates. They own Universal Music Group, they own Canal, which is like a cinematic and like TV company. He owns like companies that provide TV service to parts of Europe. Vivendi also owns Dailymotion, which is a competitor with YouTube, and some shares in Vivo. This one dude, Vincent Bolloré, owns the advertising business that YouTube relies on, and it also owns a whole bunch of competitors to YouTube. So they can use the advertising and the PR stuff to make YouTube look bad. If it can say, oh, we don't trust your product because our brand might appear in front of some bad stuff, then that is, it's making YouTube's product look bad and make Vivendi's products look better. I think it's as simple as that. And this is really the nefarious, scary, shrewd maneuvering that we need to be very wary of going forward. We creators exist in a much larger context than we have been able to acknowledge so far. We're very much involved in internal politics on the YouTube website, and not so much about the greater media landscape and what role we play in it. So I think it's paying attention to these types of things that's going to really be beneficial to us going forward. I think the reason we're seeing this all come to a head right now in 2017 is that this is the first year that digital advertising has overtaken TV advertising. Like, desktop and mobile are a larger market now than TV advertising. So there's reason for these large companies to react to that tectonic shift and really gun for YouTube's jugular by affecting their advertising business, by undermining public trust in their brand and their products. That's essentially what I think is happening now. It's not just Havas, it's also telecom companies in the US. So AT&T and Verizon were two of the big brands to pull out of the YouTube ad market. Both of them compete directly with Google in the advertising market, in the TV cable market. there's no reason AT&T and Verizon would want to pay YouTube, their competitor, to use a service that competes with their own. When you look at like Starbucks or Walmart or PepsiCo or Johnson & Johnson, these companies don't really benefit all that much from the hyper-specific targeting that YouTube uses. In fact, if anything, very small brands benefit more, because if you're a small company, you have a small product with a small niche audience, and hyper-targeting through programmatic advertising is really useful to you. But like if I am PepsiCo, I'm not making 6 different advertisements for 6 different markets. I'm just doing one blanket campaign, right? I don't need the targeting. So YouTube's success is really not benefiting those companies, so they have no reason not to pull out. Furthermore, they have this long-standing relationship with the TV industry, and it's like the most productive place for them to do advertising, because that's sort of what TV offers, is that undifferentiated mass market. So that's why those companies pull out, or at least that's how I'm reading it. So what's really scary is that advertising isn't the only way that these companies are trying to subvert YouTube's efforts. As those companies consolidate, they also consolidate their lobbying budgets, so they can go to the FCC and the Trump administration and advocate against net neutrality, and advocate for the ability to retain your browser data indefinitely. They can do really scary things that don't just undermine creators' businesses, which they do, like if net neutrality goes away, we're done, like period. But they also undermine like democracy. It's really scary what's going on. And in this light, YouTube looks a lot more like David than Goliath. YouTube is the first substantial competition that this industry has faced in 100 years. So as this battle plays out, I think it's wise for creators to pick a side that shares a common interest. I think that while it is still important to be critical of YouTube and to go after them when they screw up, which they do, it is it's far more important to be working against a common enemy that we share, which is the traditional telecom industry. Again, if net neutrality goes away, we're finished. Like, it's over at that point. I think one last thing I want to say before I end this video is that we're called influencers because we have influence. If this is an issue that matters to us, if protecting our rights as creators and as citizens, and if fighting back against monopolizing telecom companies is something that we value, which I think we should because our businesses rely on it and so does democracy, if that matters to us, we need to exert our influence in ways that are going to be beneficial to us in the long term. We are powerful as creators and as influencers, and I think if we can manage to organize and make this a real issue, we can get the message out there. We can be part of the major public discourse about this. We've reached this point of maturity, and I think we need to do some serious soul searching about how we use the power that we've gained at this point. This is what democratization of media power is. Like, we have some now, so let's use it. So, I don't know, I appreciate your time and your thoughtfulness about this matter. See you at VidCon.